Hey y'all, I'm Teacher Christy and welcome to the video where I am going to be sharing some tips and suggestions for opening up your schedule as a brand new GOGOKID teacher. So as a new GOGOKID teacher, you're probably looking for some suggestions and some tips on how to best and most strategically open up your schedule in order to get the bookings coming in. So the biggest thing you want to do, of course, as a brand new teacher is to open as many slots as possible as far in advance as possible, particularly those peak time slots. Remember, there are only 4 peak time slots here at GOGOKID on a daily basis, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Those 4 peak time slots are 7, 7:30, 8, and 8:30 p.m. Beijing time. So you want to open as many peak time slots as possible, and you want to make sure you are opening your schedule as far in advance as possible. Now, most of the time, your portal allows you to open your schedule up to 4 weeks in advance, even though typically classes can only be scheduled and booked up to 2 weeks in advance. However, supplementary classes are the exception to that rule. A supplementary class can be booked up to 3 weeks in advance. So, supplementary classes are often some of the first bookings new teachers are getting here at GOGOKID. So, you want to make sure you have your schedule open in advance so that those supplementary classes can be booked. You also want to make sure that you have completed the certifications for all of those supplementary classes so that you are an eligible supplementary class teacher. You also want to make sure that you are opening as many of your slots as possible as available 24 hours. So, what does that mean? Now, normally when you open a slot as just available, that means that that particular slot can be booked up until 24 hours before class start time, but cannot be booked within 24 hours of class start time. However, when you click the little box that says available 24 hours, that means that slot can now be booked up until 1 hour before class start time. So, why is that such an important thing for new teachers in particular to do? The reason is all about trial classes. Now, as a new teacher, you are typically going to be teaching a lot of trial classes. And in most cases, parents don't want their trial classes booked weeks or even days in advance. Think about it. If you were getting a free trial, would you want it to be a week from now, or would you want it to be today or maybe tomorrow? It's the same with the parents. They want the trial classes as soon as possible. So most trial classes are booked within 24 hours of that class start time. So you don't want to miss out on this huge potential for class bookings by not opening your classes as available 24 hours. You do want to be careful though when you use this booking feature and making sure that you're really paying attention to what slots you have open for the next 6, 8, 10 hours or so before you go to bed. The worst thing you can do as a new teacher is go to bed with classes open during the time you're going to be sleeping, get one of those classes booked, and then end up with a teacher no show because the class booked and then start time came and passed while you were still in bed sleeping. So before you go to bed for the night, make sure you are jumping on the computer, you are checking your schedule, seeing if you have any available 24-hour slots for that next couple of hours when you plan on sleeping. And if so, just simply uncheck that box and remove the 24-hour available booking feature. That way you can make sure you aren't going to get any teacher no shows, which is going to be the absolute worst thing to get as a new teacher. And then finally, consider opening up some overnight weekend slots. If you are in the US, Friday and Saturday night classes have really high booking rates because these are weekend days they're in China, and that is a high demand class time. The problem, though, is that a lot of veteran teachers who have established schedules and their core regular group of students aren't as interested in teaching these off times. So that means there's typically less teachers opening these slots. As a new teacher, that can be a really good thing for you because you have less competition. Parents often, when they're trying to decide between a couple of teachers, just like us, look at the reviews and the ratings left by others. So if there are less veteran teachers competing against you as a new teacher, you stand a better chance of getting that booking. So temporarily, you don't have to do it full time. It doesn't have to become your new lifelong teaching schedule. But at least in the beginning, as you're getting your feet wet and you're trying to get those first couple of parent reviews under your belt, it can often be a really great strategy to open up some of those weekend overnights, get some of those classes under your belt, rock them out, teach them amazingly, get those 5-star parent reviews, and then you can start reining your schedule back in, opening the times that are more desirable to you. And that will help facilitate an increase in bookings for you as a new teacher. So I hope you found these tips and tricks to be helpful. If you have any other suggestions for new GoGoKid teachers who are looking to build their schedule, make sure you put those in the comments below. If you found this video to be helpful, make sure you give us a like and a thumbs up. This is going to be the very first video in my new series of tips for new teachers at GoGoKid. So if that applies to you and you don't want to miss any of these upcoming videos, make sure you subscribe so you can be notified when the next video releases. Hopefully you found this video helpful. I'll see you in the next video, and until next time, happy teaching. Bye y'all.